Some brands can be summed up in one car. For Ford it's the Fiesta, for Mazda the MX-5, and for Mercedes it's this, the new E-Class. It features some of the most advanced technology Mercedes has to offer, including semi-autonomous driving capability and safety systems that will help you avoid having a crash in the first place or protect you should the worst happen. For example, its side airbags are powerful enough to push you inwards away from the impact. I'd rather not test that today though, so instead let's look at space. Now this boot is vast, there's room for a couple of big cases, there's more room underneath the floor, and although it's a saloon you do get a really nice big opening. As for the back seats, yes, it's very roomy back here. Lots of legroom. Headroom is good even with the twin sunroofs in place. The only thing I would say is that with the driver's seat dropped all the way down, it's a bit of a squeeze. And then there's the E-Class's showstopper, the optional dual screen dashboard. Now, these aren't touchscreens. Mercedes says that it prefers not to use touchscreens on safety grounds, so instead you control them either using this touch sensitive pad here, this bigger touch sensitive pad here, this rotary controller here, or by voice command. Now, as you might guess from the sheer number of ways there are of controlling the system, it's not always the most intuitive to use. Having said that, with time you do get used to it. There are some shortcut buttons down here, and failing all else you can do what I did this morning, plug your iPhone in and use Apple CarPlay. The rest of the interior is as plush and as thoughtfully designed as you'd expect, and it's easy to find a good driving position. The big news here is that the E-Class is the first Mercedes to feature the company's new 2-litre turbo diesel engine. With 191 horsepower, it will get from 0 to 62 miles an hour in 7.3 seconds, tops out at 149 miles an hour, and in EU economy tests it returned more than 72 miles per gallon. You'd need to be taking it seriously easy to get a figure like that though. In our tests, economy has been more like 50 miles per gallon. This is a really good engine. It's smooth, it's powerful, and it's mated to an excellent 9-speed automatic gearbox that shifts ever so smoothly. Compared with the old 2.1 litre Mercedes engine, which was fairly rattly, this is a revelation. It's quite exciting to think it's going to appear in other Mercedes models too. When my colleague drove this car on the international launch, it was on 17-inch wheels and air suspension, and he said it rode sublimely. Well, today's test car is on 19-inch wheels and is in AMG line trim with no air suspension. And you know what? It still rides sublimely. It's really, really good. It's not that you don't feel bumps, but it rounds off the edges ever so well. It's a really, really nice car to drive and the most comfortable in its class. As already mentioned, as an option, the E-Class also has some driverless capability. Running costs are reasonable, with the cleanest model emitting just 102 grams a kilometre of CO2. Do be careful though with how much you can end up spending on optional extras. This car's got £1,700 worth of safety systems, another £3,700 on adaptive LED lights in the twin sunroofs, another £1,500 on in-car entertainment, and £500 on the digital dash, and that's not everything. Beware, these things can add up. The range starts from £36,000, but it's easy to add more than £10,000 to that. I'll sum up with one final thought, which is to say that at no point in this review have I felt moved to talk about the E-Class's handling, and that's simply because it's not set up to be a driver's car like the BMW 5 Series or Jaguar XF. Now, if you want something that's smooth and comfortable and sophisticated, then the E-Class is ideal, but if you want something with great steering and an involving chassis, then you're going to have to look elsewhere. If you're considering buying a Mercedes E-Class, then you should also read our review of the BMW 5 Series up here, the Jaguar XF up here, go down here to see about the Audi A6, here to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and here to read the full Mercedes-Benz E-Class review.